what's going on? I'm Chris Meza, and I'm out here with my partner Laura Smith. We're out here at Old Settlers Park, more specifically at Brit Buxton's Memorial Baseball Stadium. We were going to talk to y'all about the aspects of being a player in the game and being a fan of the game. I'm going to give you what it's like to be a player out here and tell you how the environment works and how I interact with it and how other people who play this game interact with the environment. Right here is what we call the dugout. This is where the teams come to hang out and talk strategy and take a break from the hot sun. That's why the benches are here. That's why the shade is here. This is where we discuss what being on the team's all about and how do we win. Also, if you notice, there's no water fountain here. In our codes, we'll be sure to put a water fountain for the players to drink water. This dugout has a couple of features I wanted to mention. One of them being this ball return. This is an interaction between us and the fans. If a foul ball goes over the fence that we can't go get, they can bring us back the ball because these balls do cost money. We can put it back in play. Right here we have a bat hanger, and this is where everybody comes and puts their bats up and like hangs them up. You can tell who's got more money than who just by it's more of a safety feature. One person on the on-deck circle at a time. Everybody else is staying in the bench, and the batter is batting. Okay, so we come out here to the home plate. Home plate represents how you score runs. You make it home, you get a point. If you don't make it home, you get no points. You run the bases to get home. You got first, second, third. Pitcher's mound's right here in front of you. Okay, most batters like to interact with the environment by rubbing some dirt on their hands to add some traction. Once you hit a ball, you can run the bases, and you can use these foul lines. These foul lines are very important to the game. They let you know the boundaries of the game itself. If the ball goes outside these foul lines, it's a foul ball, you got to redo. If you go outside the foul lines, then you're out. So, as a player, you hit the ball, you run down the base path, and you try not to run outside these foul lines. All right, and as you're running down the base paths, these bases are off the ground for a reason. They're doing this for safety reasons. It's for environment, so that way you can interact with the environment safely. As you can see, they're not flush to the ground. They come up in a lip. So that way the first baseman doesn't necessarily have to stand with his whole foot on the bag and y'all don't hurt each other. You can stand right here. That's why the mounds are like that. You got to make it all the way to the bases at the home plate to get your points. Let's talk about the pitcher's mound, because this is different than when I was growing up. When I was growing up, pitcher mound was made out of dirt. Now it's made out of synthetic recycled materials, okay? Also, I wanted to mention that the foul lines are on the ground because this field is properly maintained. As you can see, the grass is all groomed down, it's all short, there's no ant mounds, none of that going on. This pitcher mound also has to do with the maintenance. Since it's not dirt, it's a lot easier to maintain. There's nothing you have to do to interact with it. You can just leave it out here, all right? And since dirt erodes away, this won't erode away. And as you can tell, it's made out of some kind of hollowed out recycled material. I'm not really quite sure what it is. We're gonna go out to the outfield and talk about the outfield. Okay, right here we're out in the outfield, all right? And this right here will allow you, the environment, to talk to you if you let it. For example, you pick up a little bit of grass, you throw it in the air, and it tells you which way the wind is blowing. It's important whenever you're playing in the outfield to know that. As you can see, there's a lot of green area out here. It's another reason why I love to play the outfield, and most people have the same feelings I do when it's out here. A lot of open space, a lot of area to run free, a lot of area to stretch those legs out, stay in shape, or whatnot, track the ball down. Having said that, it provides a nice safe area. Having said that, if you run towards the back of the fence, towards back here, it gets a little bit more hazardous, more dangerous. The fence here represents a boundary. You hit it over the fence, it's a home run. Everybody gets a score, including yourself. Everybody gets to round the bases. If it hits off this yellow thing right here, this little yellow PVC pipe, and goes over, that represents a home run too. If it hits the green and stays in, and it still goes over, that doesn't. It doesn't count. If it hits the green and stays in the field, then I got to get the ball back in. Whoever's got to get the ball back in. This green mesh also helps soften the blow of this metal fence, because that metal fence does not feel good. Most fields also will have a warning track. This field does not have a warning track. And basically, warning track is just dirt to let you know where your feet are, so that way you know how close you are to this fence. It's a way the environment interacting with you to tell you how to be safe. Another way the environment can interact with you, we can turn on these lights and you can play at night. And night games are a whole nother element, but it's still the same in essence. Having said that, I'd like to recap real quick. We went over the dugout, how they need water fountains. We went over the batting circle, how they need an on-deck circle for safety reasons. We went over the pitcher's mound. We went over how they keep the fields maintained. We went over the foul lines. We went over the boundaries, what they all represent. Hopefully I explained a lot to you. I'm going to turn it over now to Laura, and she's going to tell you the fan side.
Okay, here at the park, these are the bleachers. This is where the fans sit to watch the game. You have a great view. In front of the fans is this fence. This fence is here to protect them from any foul balls that may come flying out while the game is going. Above the bleachers we have shelter, which protects us from the sun and the rain. Another feature about these bleachers is they're wide open benches, so all the fans, they sit next to each other. You have to squeeze in sometimes. There's no individual spaces for different teams or different players. You're just all sitting together cheering for whoever. Some of the other features for this park is trash cans. These trash cans, they help keep the park maintained and clean. They're wide open, no top, so people can just walk by, throw their trash in. The other features that we enjoy about this park are at the main pavilion, which is that way. If you want to take a look at it this way, we're just one of many fields at this park. So right now at the main pavilion there is a tournament going on, and the only time that the park is open is when there is a game or a tournament. So it's going to be very noisy. You hear the fans cheering and the excitement of the game. There isn't much we can do about that, so we're just going to try and work around it. So here we go. Okay, we're about to enter the main pavilion to the park. You'll notice the sidewalk as we're going in. It's paved. It's also well lit. There's lights all along the walkway. So when you first walk in, you walk through this gate. This gate is here to so that the park can stay maintained and closed when it's not being used. It prevents any destruction or anything from the park. So when you walk in, inside all of these individual pavilions is a playground for your kids. The playgrounds are also marked to make sure that they are age appropriate and any safety regulations that they should be following while they're using the playground. The playground is in very close proximity to the baseball field. So if you're a parent and you have a kid who's playing and a kid who's not playing, it's easy to keep an eye on both of them. So keep walking through the park and you look around. There's multiple fields in this park. There's 4 of them in this pavilion. All of them have the fans' bleachers from each park as you're viewing is faced inward and towards the bathroom. So everything we have out here is restrooms. They're free to use, they're well maintained, they're clean, they're accessible to everybody. Sometimes when you have a tournament, you'll be out here from the morning to the evening. Next to the restroom, you also have water fountains. Those are also free to use. Nice cold water when you're going to be out here all day. Next to the restroom, immediately next to it is a concession stand. You can buy food, drinks, there's popcorn, chips, pickles, hot dogs, all the traditional food that you think of when you come to a baseball park, is what you enjoy. If you need a place to sit down, relax while you eat, they also have picnic tables in close proximity. So if you'll notice the picnic tables, they're just open. You can sit next to whoever. It's family style. Everybody just kind of sits next to each other. Another feature they also have is the trash cans. They're also here. They're throughout the park. They're easy and accessible to help keep this park clean. So just to sum it up, some of the features of this park, and you can come out here and enjoy it. From the fan side is of course the bleachers, the shelter, the paved pathways, easy accessibility.